So Jon Ossoff and Raphael Warnock have won in Georgia. They have won their Senate races. The Democrats take control of the Senate. This is gargantuan news, and it's great news. 100%. And there's a lot of reasons why this is great, but there's also some reasons we have to temper, our excitement and realize the political realities. We'll talk about a lot of these things over the coming days, but I just want to hammer home a few key points. One, it was great to see Perdue and Loeffler lose. Ossoff and Warnock, there's some good things about them. They're far too centrist for my liking, especially Ossoff, but to see Perdue and Loeffler lose after how they disrespected the people by insider trading to make money off COVID, they deserve to lose more than even the average Republican. So that's great to see. Of course, Senate control for the Democrats is vital. Now the Senate will be 50-50, with Kamala Harris being the tiebreaker. That's crucial because the Democrats are going to need every vote they can get to pass crucial legislation. Simple as that. But it also matters for committees. Now, the key committees will be headed up by Democrats and not Republicans. You might say, well, it's a tie Senate. Yes, but the tiebreaker indicates that people like Bernie Sanders, a guy I supported when he ran for president, will be chair of the Budget Committee most likely, making Bernie Sanders far more powerful than maybe he's ever been, which is a good thing for the left, and it's a good thing for the American working class. And so those committee positions matter. It also matters that Mitch McConnell, maybe the biggest ghoul in Washington, has lost his power. He might have even been worse than Trump. And once Trump was defeated, there was no question in my mind that there was one man as a barrier above all to progress in Washington, and it was him. Whether on the courts or whether on legislation or whether on committee, Mitch the Turtle McConnell was the biggest barrier. Not the only one. Corporate Democrats are still a barrier in many ways, but it was good to see him lose his power. He's still going to be in the Senate, but he's not going to control the Senate like he has for nearly the past decade, or for most of the past decade, at least. One thing to note, though, is that 50-50 isn't all that big of a majority for the Democrats. And so while I expect the $2,000 checks to get done, and I expect a lot of Biden's core promises to be moved on or at least attempted, we have to remember that some of those 50 Democrats include people like Joe Manchin, and he will almost certainly block a lot of progressive and big change policy. So for instance, Manchin has said he does not support DC statehood. And if he votes with the Republicans, it's unlikely to happen. So one challenge is going to be a lot of these types of Democrats will not actually be there to implement the things Democratic voters want. So that's something to definitely keep an eye out for. But this is fantastic news. Best case scenario tonight, 2 Democratic wins, 2 senators that are far, far more progressive than the alternatives and far better people than the alternatives are going to Washington. And it shows that when you run on clear policy to help people, you win, because Ossoff and Warnock, to their credit, ran clearly. Elect us and you'll get your $2,000. They darn well better deliver, but they made a clear pitch to the American people. We will make your lives better, and here is how, and here's how much will make your lives better. And one final thing, and people were noting this on CNN and other sources tonight. If there's someone to blame tonight, it really is Donald Trump. Donald Trump, if he was gracious in defeat in November, they likely don't win these races, the Democrats. They likely lose them. Republicans don't think that this was some sort of, rigged effort against them that means that they couldn't win and so they didn't participate. And moderates that maybe voted for Biden but Perdue and Loeffler, they split their ticket, were disgusted by the fact that Republicans like Trump and Hawley and Ted Cruz and Republicans in the House have been trying to disenfranchise them, that they said, I'm not going to vote for a Republican this time. So thank you, Donald Trump. In your buffoonery, in your evil, and your hatred of democracy, you have done great damage to the Republican Party, and for once, you've done a service to the American people.